Je suis Lilian, la sœur aînée de Marie. J'ai 2 ans de plus qu'elle. Nous avons partagé notre enfance, pour ainsi dire, ensemble. Nous jouions vraiment pendant les vacances, 12 heures dans la journée. Et à ce moment-là, nous étions parfois des enfants, parfois des tantes, parfois des professeurs de piano. Dans ces jeux-là, Marie prenait toujours la tête. Elle était toujours la dame. Moi, peut-être l'enfant. Un jour, je suis la dame et elle l'enfant, naturellement. Et nous étions aussi des serviteurs. Et nous avions d'autres noms. Moi, je m'appelais Cariat, elle Ismène. Et c'était notre... Quand nous étions toutes 2 petites filles, nous allions chez notre tante Alice prendre des leçons de piano. C'était un arbre au milieu de la cour qui était tante Alice. Vers l'âge de 12 ans, Marie s'est mise à écrire des pièces qu'elle faisait jouer par la petite troupe d'amis, et moi naturellement incluse. Et elle avait été elle représentait un page sur un char de carnaval. Et elle avait conservé son costume de page, qu'elle avait affublé un certain petit ami, déjà gandé de cet habit-là pour représenter un roi. Ce qui avait fait mourir de rire toute la famille qui était réunie. Pour ces représentations. Nous avons vécu dans une famille où l'on vivait de politique. Sous Vincent, mon père a dû prendre la fuite. Il s'était réfugié en République dominicaine. Parce que Vincent avait donné l'ordre de rapporter sa tête. Il est resté, il a dû s'enfuir caché sous un déguisement de paysan. Et il avait été jeté, pour ainsi dire, à la frontière par mes deux de nos beaux-frères qui ont été arrêtés, eux, sous Vincent, et qui ont fait de la prison à la place de mon père. Après l'amnistie, mon père est revenu ici et a été pris un jour par le chef de la police qui était alors M. Merceron Epo. Il a été battu presque à mort. Et c'est dans ce climat-là que nous avons vécu pendant de longues années. Car mon père ne faisait que de la politique. Quand il n'y avait pas de politique à faire, eh bien, il n'y avait rien à la maison. Elle a grandi ainsi, aimant la lecture, la justice. Elle aimait les pauvres et les gens simples. Elle n'a eu vraiment comme amie que des gens vraiment très simples, qu'elle défendait au prix de sa tête, pour ainsi dire, parce qu'une fois à l'école, elle s'est, après une observation de la directrice à une élève qui était plus ou moins pauvre, elle s'est levée de sa place pour dire: Madame, vous lui avez fait cette observation parce qu'elle est pauvre et noire. Ça a fait un tollé à l'école. Et plus tard, ayant épousé un homme plus ou moins aisé, elle avait gardé ses amis d'antan, qui étaient tous pauvres. À la veille, n'est-ce pas, des fêtes, nous pouvons dire de la fête des mères, du jour de l'an, etc., etc. Elle allait au market et faisait préparer, et pour elle, et pour ses amis, des paniers complets, composaient les meilleures choses qu'on pouvait trouver sur place. Marie n'avait pas seulement des qualités, elle avait aussi ses défauts. Orgueilleuse, coquette, se sachant belle femme, elle essayait toujours d'attirer les regards. Et je peux vous dire qu'on la suivait du regard. Ça, c'est bien vrai. Quand elle se déplaçait dans une salle, tous les regards se convergeaient vers elle. Elle s'est mise à écrire, semble-t-il, son premier... Ce fut une pièce de théâtre qui a été produite au Rex et qui a eu énormément de succès. Ensuite, je me suis trouvée, moi, mariée. Et c'est à ce moment-là que vraiment j'ai perdu contact avec ma sœur. Parce qu'il m'a fallu suivre mon mari et elle suivre le sien. Quand, en 1968, mon fils fut arrêté, ou bien, pour ainsi dire, avait disparu. Parce que quand on est arrêté, on peut suivre la trace d'un prisonnier. Ceci avait fait suite à l'assassinat de deux de mes neveux, fils de mon frère Max. Je me demande si ce ne sont pas ces drames familiaux qui ont porté Marie à écrire Amour, colère et folie. Quand ce livre, Amour, colère et folie, m'a été révélé par Marie, qu'elle devait le faire publier, ma sœur Clara et moi, nous nous sommes rendus chez elle pour lui faire comprendre le sursoir à la publication, parce que la famille n'en pouvait absolument plus avec cette disparition. Elle a préféré prendre l'exil.
In 1968, I was living here, and Marie came to our house one day. She had just come from Haiti, and she was having a terrible dilemma. She had written this book, and she was in the terrible pressure not to have it published. At this time, things were just horrible in Haiti. And the book was about Haiti, and it was about Duvalier. She was under pressure from the family, from her husband, not to publish the book. On the other hand, she had received a very encouraging letter from Simone de Beauvoir, praising the book and urging her to go ahead with it. So she sat down with us one afternoon, and she had brought the manuscript. We read it, and we told her absolutely, unequivocally that she had to publish it. The timing was right. The truth had to come out. And for all the horrible things that were perpetrated against the Haitian people, the whole world was silent, mostly. So we told her to go ahead and publish it. She went back to Haiti, and shortly later, she came back to New York. She had chosen to publish the book and separate herself from the family. She stayed with us for a couple of weeks, I think. And She also stayed at a cousin's house who was not too far from us. And in order to support herself, because she didn't want to have anything to do with her husband anymore, it was for her that important. Since he could not support her, then she had to detach herself totally from that context. She took a job as a maid in a very rich Long Island family. She worked for a man, I think, who had a patent on television dishes, antenna. Those things were new at the time. And she took that job. She called us often. Sometimes she was crying. It was very hard for her because she was not only cut off from her family, from us, but she had left a teenage son in Haiti too. So every day she struggled with that decision, but every day reinforced her conviction that it was the right thing to do too. And she came back to us with her hands, her dainty hands, sore, cut. She told us that she had to open 10 cans of dog food cans a day. This guy had huge dogs in his house. And she was really, she took a beating, but in her spirit, you know, she was convinced that she had to go ahead. So a little while later, the book got published. She moved in with one of her daughters, the older one, and she was living in Briarwood at the time. The book was published, but it was never distributed. I believe that her husband from Haiti bought most of the stock, most of the available stock, and that stopped short the distribution of the book. She had some copies that she gave to friends and she kept for herself. That was a big blow to her. She never recovered from it. Her separation from her husband became final then. And exile, definite exile, was the only choice that she had at that point. She never stopped hoping that the book would be published again and read by the whole world. Later on, she continued work after she got married for a third time to Mr. Proudfoot. She continued working on another book, Les Rapaces. I believe that the material from that book had been edited from Amour, Colère et Folie. And 3 years later, she became very ill. She had to stop working on a book, and it was never published during her lifetime. Because she had such a strong sense of class struggle and justice. And again, she made references all the time to Jacques Roumet, to Stéphane Alexis. She took very seriously her profession as a writer. And she could not be a writer without bringing into it her conscience. And I remember that from way back, when she was writing, how she used to totally immerse herself into the process. She was living in that old house, and she had a small room cleared up of papers and all kind of junks, newspapers, magazine, and she had a desk put there, and she would literally shutter herself in there for days or weeks, only come out for meals to speak with her children. Then she would come and, you know, very, very distracted, barely being able to carry a conversation because she was concentrating in her mind on what she was doing. And she couldn't wait to go back and start writing again. But once she was done, then she would come out and share it with the family. She wanted you to read this. She wanted people to tell her what they thought about it. She wanted the feedback. She wanted to be, she wanted people to let her know what they felt about it, because she understood that if people were not going to read what she was writing, then there was no point in it. And then when that was done, what she liked doing the best was really either tell stories or listen to stories. She was an audienceuse, and she liked to surround herself with people who used to tell her stories, and she loved to either sing old contes, Haitian contes, or tell them. And I remember that night, sometimes when we were to Kaskoff on vacation, that it was a big occasion to have the maids and ourselves all around the table, and there was no electric light, just a candle or a lamp, and around the table, you know, the storytelling would start. And it was just extraordinary how much she could get out of this. So listening to stories and listening to all kind of testimonies from people and about their lives, you know, she cared a lot about people, poor people's life. She wanted to know what they had been through. She wanted to understand it. And to her, you know, it was material for more books. She would make things come alive for you. When we were kids, she would sometimes, especially on rainy nights when we were bored and we had nothing to do, she would put up those plays with paper cutout and make them come alive. And she would be the sorcerer, or, you know, the devil, or, you know, whatever. And we were so delighted because she loved the company of children too. And she just loved life so much. She was just as big as life herself.